Well, hey everyone, welcome to my first edition of this FastFit video weekly kind of newsletter vlog that I want to put out each week, at least for the foreseeable future, about all the things that are happening in and around the world of FastFit. What's happening in the world of workouts, what's happening with nutrition, events, people, upcoming news, updates to keep those of you that are really excited and serious about your fitness on track. So, first up, our next training cycle, just in case you didn't know, it starts this Monday. And it's going to feature two exercise challenges. Now, we've done different things in the past. We just came off of a nutrition challenge. This is going to be two exercise challenges, one that you'll do during your session with your trainer, with your coach, and the other is going to be outside your workouts on your own. Okay, so I'll touch on each one of those. Uh, First off, let me do this. If you haven't seen the training calendar, you can go here to where it says schedule. This pulls up our kind of class schedule but weekly, but this is kind of an annual calendar. So you can click on that, and this has the entire 2016 year. So you can see when everything starts, when it ends. Some of these are 3-week, 21-day programs. Some of them are like what we're going to do in April is 4 weeks, 28 days. And I believe we have 4 weeks in April, and then another 4-week cycle, and then another 4-week cycle in June. So there's several of those. And you can also see they've got certain transformation contests that we'll have when they begin, when they end. And they're all built around holidays. You can see it's built around Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July weekend, and Labor Day weekend, all the way through all the holidays. So that's kind of how it's set up. It shows you when we start, when we finish, and when all the progress tracking weeks are taking place. So that gives you kind of a big picture there of that. So, all right, so let's get into this month. So there's two challenges. One, this is this week's blog post I put out. So this goes out to people that's on a newsletter of mine from just around the country. That's they're not necessarily working out here. They're just maybe they've heard about us, whatever. They live in other states and they keep track of us through a newsletter. So this is kind of directed to them, but kind of gives you an idea of what we're going to be doing. This is it: a TRX kettlebell iron circuit conditioning. So what do you think we're going to be using? That's right, TRX and kettlebells. If you didn't get that, this is something I've been working on for quite a while, and really in fitness, when you think about all the benefits you get from suspension training, stability, core activation, stronger foundation throughout your body, and then the things that you can get from kettlebell training, such as a faster metabolism, fat loss, cardiorespiratory function, stronger shoulders, stronger glutes. I know for me, really, I can cover all the bases for myself with just these two training tools. So with that, we'll be training entirely this month using the TRX and the kettlebell. Okay, also, we just did a nutrition challenge this past month, and a special shout out and congratulations goes out to CJ Crisp, who won the challenge by getting a perfect score of 100 points in 21 days. Way to go, CJ. Let me see if I can find this. If you haven't seen or heard this, this was the challenge here to build the body of a superhero. The goal was to get 100 points. It started on Leap Day, February 29th. It ran through whatever 21 days was. You got a point for all this. No sugar, no alcohol. You score a point if you don't do alcohol for that day. No bread or pastries. You get a point for that. A point for attending a FastFit workout, and a point for performing 10 minutes of mobility work. Animal moves, foam rolling, flexibility. Also a point for taking fish oil. So there were 6 possible points, and you would have had to get at least 5 points a day to get to 100. CJ got 100. She won the challenge. So congratulations goes to her. Now for you, you might have only scored half the points, or maybe you only scored, I don't know, 1 point the entire month, which means you have a lot of room for improvement. But that 6-point challenge is something you can carry on into this month and build upon it. And you should be able to, at the very least, score 2 points a day. Man, otherwise, your health is in a major red flag area. So Not good. If you haven't been keeping up with it, it's right here. Have to scroll down and find it, but that's the nutrition challenge. But for this month, it's a different focus and a different part of your overall wellness that I want us to focus on, and that's your activity level outside of meeting with a coach or trainer here at FastFit. So ask yourself this question: do I lead a sedentary lifestyle? Now, before you answer, here's some considerations. The average American is sitting on average nowadays 12 hours per day. That's that's kind of mind blowing. That's half the day, right? I was actually working with some athletes, really high performers, who were sitting up to 14 hours a day. When we tracked this and we really looked at it, they sat to eat breakfast, obviously. They sat to eat lunch. They sat down to eat dinner. They sat for 8 hours a day in front of a computer, and they were averaging 2 hours a day watching TV at night. That's an additional 2 hours of sitting. They were getting about 14 plus hours a day sitting. You factor in another 6 or 7 hours sleeping, and that doesn't leave a lot of time for activity. And no matter how hard you work out, even for 30 minutes, if the other 23 and a half is not that active, you're leading a sedentary lifestyle. So the minimum baseline activity for an individual is about 10,000 steps. And that's what we want to hit every single day to stay lean, healthy, and fit. So you may not have any idea how many steps you get in, and there are levels. And before I get to that level, there's a ton of ways to track this. There's a lot of inexpensive or free apps that you can use on your phone. There's the Fitbit. I mean, I use a thing called Steps. I think it's maybe that right there is Steps. Ton of options. I was looking for like even an old school pedometer you could use. Find a way to track this. And obviously, if you've got a smartphone, it's set. If you've got a Fitbit or an Apple Watch, that's set up. But you could even do just a pedometer. Do they still have pedometers? Yeah, I mean just a classic pedometer you could use. So anything, however you can track it, you want to try to get. I mean, the apps obviously make it easier, and the Apple Watch and a Fitbit really makes it super simple. But here's the goal: we want to average 10,000 steps a day. So our goal for our clients in April is, and for anybody that's going to follow along at home, is to average 10,000 steps per day for 30 days, using whatever device, smartphone app, tracker that you want. And here's the standards. Now, you may not be able to get 10,000 a day. That, you may just not live that active a lifestyle. Maybe you could get, 2,000 to 3,000 a day, maybe a third of it, and shoot for about 100,000 total steps for the month. You earn the bronze medal, okay? Or you get into maybe like half of that, the 4,000, 5,000 steps a day to get 200,000 total steps for the month. Obviously, if you can get the full 10,000 a day, 30 days, that's the gold standard we want to do, and to kind of make that happen. So, the other challenge is just what we're going to be doing in our training, but try to have, an active lifestyle. There you go. We're going to track this as a group for all those who want to step up their fitness and take this challenge. I know I'm doing it. Justin's doing it. Aaron's doing it. And hopefully many of you are going to do it. Do us a favor. In the comment box below, just post that you are in. That's it. Let us know who's taking this challenge, who's going to do this for the month, and we get started on Monday. Okay. Thanks for tuning in here, this first one. We'll see how it goes each week. We'll stay updated throughout the month and everything, and have a good weekend.